we have a quorum. And do we, Bridget, have any minutes from, and from how long ago are they for official minutes from?
I believe they were the December minutes.
Great.
I sent them in the email with the meeting notification.
Okay, does anybody have it? Has everybody have a chance to look at that? Still looking for stuff. Okay. All righty. If we've had a chance to look, do I hear anybody call to approve the meeting from the December minutes? Don't be bashful.
So moved.
Oh, thank you, Nick. Do I have a second?
Second.
Ramsey and Mayor Collins. So we have a first and second. Do we have any discussion about that? Questions? It was a lifetime ago in 2020, 21 years. All right, so we're going to take a vote. All in favor of approving the minutes as presented from the December meeting, say aye.
Aye.
Raise your hand. Great. Do we have any nays? Fantastic. The minutes from the meeting are approved. We have a quorum for this meeting, which means that we'll get minutes for that. Fantastic. What a lovely day. I think it's because the sun is out that everything is going well. I don't believe we have any members new to this meeting, but does everybody know each other? The people who've, since we've been here a while and we have some comings and goings, is anybody unfamiliar with someone and would like to hear about them? Mayor Collins?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I've met I don't know, two. They don't have their names on, so. Oh, Ramsey.
Yep, I'm new. I came to the last meeting, but we didn't have a quorum, and I
Right.
recognize a few faces, but yeah, I'm just a community member. I'm an artist and a parent, and yeah, just would love to be involved in the public art in Helena. So that's why I'm here. Good to meet you all.
What about Amanda?
Yeah, I don't believe we've met yet. I had attended a few meetings before I was officially on the committee. But yeah, my name's Amanda Reese, graphic designer here in town. Yeah, lived here about 7 years and love it.
Thank you. Thanks,
Yeah.
Christy.
Absolutely, Mayor Collins. Anybody else need an intro or want to update? Fantastic. 1, 2, 3. Number 4 is our budget. I have communicated with the folks at HCC about what our budget plans are and that they have not changed essentially from the past, which is the focus on Chalk Up Helena, which we're subbing in as a topic today, and the traffic signal boxes. Does anybody have any questions or comments about that? I'm not quite sure when the next budget is being issued. When is that being issued?
Kristen, this is Troy.
Hey, Troy.
So we did put together our preliminary draft budget, and we'll be meeting with the manager here in the next few weeks. What I did put in that budget, and I might just share it real quick so you guys can see it.
Thank you.
So I assume you can see this.
Mm-hmm.
So as far as purchase services, contracted services, we kept the dollars about the same. What's different from last year, where you see we had the bounty sculpture funding in here.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like, this 10.8 falls in line with previous years. This is 2018, 2019, and 2020. I left these line items pretty much what they were. It appears that Chalk Up Helena has $500, and then Demonstration Helena 4,000, and then we kind of called that line item. It was just unknown projects with a dollar amount. So I kept that roughly the same, and then there was the $12,000 general fund revenue,
Mhm.
and I put that in there for the FY22 proposed budget. So that's really the entire budget in a nutshell.
Got it.
So
Where
if
does
it looks, Mr. Mayor,
No, I was just asking, where does the ghost signs fall under?
I guess I would defer to the committee on that. These would be our only dollars associated with spending for any type of art in the FY22 budget. So I don't know, Kristen, if it would fall under those unknown projects.
It would, if we were to be doing the ghost signs, it would be a combination of unknown projects. We would have to balance that with the traffic signal boxes, and getting business owner or business representative buy-in. And I know Mayor Collins, we
Yeah.
had been asked, you had been, we were going to write up a letter to Firestone. As
And
example.
I know for sure, what's the guy on 6th Avenue?
Patrick.
I'm
Oh,
going blank.
yeah.
Broadway, on Broadway,
Patrick
did
on
say
Broadway.
they would commit, they weren't, he wasn't sure how much, but he would definitely commit. Because when we asked, the COVID was 100% in swing, they were losing money. And now they seem to be trying, doing better. And he definitely committed to donating something. Firestone is not returning my calls nor my communication. So I'm not sure what's going on with them, but shouldn't we budget for it anyway? And this is just my 1 cent.
The average cost for a refurbishment of the sign, like the Edie's Bread on the side of the Merck
Yeah.
building, is about $5,000.
$1,000, yeah.
Right. So we could certainly do it in this budget. We could do it in lieu of traffic signal boxes. Since Kathy, who's listening in, I have forgotten the nuances of Demonstration Helena, but there's a funky nuance with Demonstration Helena. And essentially what we've been doing is putting that nearly 10 grand. So this is 8.8 into traffic signal boxes. So in order for us to solely pay for a ghost sign refurbishment, we would have to make the call between ghost signs and traffic signal boxes, which has been our big buy in the past 2 years, almost 3 years.
So why do we have to?
We don't have to. If we have the 12,000, we can certainly do 2 and back off anything else, or we could do 1 and some traffic signal boxes.
Can someone explain what Demonstration Helena is to me? I'm new to that one.
Yeah, same.
Hi, everyone.
Hey, Kathy.
I have never heard of Demonstration Helena. I don't know what that is. I'm sorry, Kristen.
Okay. You're always my ace in the hole. I remember a brief conversation about Demonstration Helena. In functionality, we use the 4,000 or whatever for Demonstration Helena, and for this one it's 48 for unnamed projects. We use that as a total. We've been using that as a total sum. And I remember a conversation about it, but I'm not remembering it enough to bring it up. So I will look into that.
Was that supposed to be like a demonstration project?
I am not sure. It appeared, it came up briefly in a meeting that I have been in the past 2 years. That's the best I can say about it right at this point. What I'll do is give Johnny Moore a reach out and figure if we can, and figure what that is.
Yeah, because that's a pretty significant amount of money.
It's a significant amount of money. And like I said, in reality, we've been taking the total number, making it figuring out what our budget is at some point and making that number of traffic signal box covers.
Sure.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. All righty. That kind of talking about the budget and updating on ghost signs seems to be about the same thing, which is great. What I'll do is I'll look into that demonstration Helena, try to get a good definition on that. Kathy asks, is the mayor asking about adding additional dollars? That was my next question as well, Kathy. Mayor, are you suggesting we can add dollars to our budget?
Well, you know, quite frankly, it won't hurt if we're turned down, great. But there's absolutely nothing wrong with asking and
Mhm.
get turned down versus not asking at all.
Right. And I would like to ask for more.
Because
And
we're looking at only 5,000 here between the ghost signs and the traffic boxes. So,
right. It would be an extra 5,000 to HPAC.
right. So I think we should put it in, and if we're turned down, great, we're turned down. That's fine. But if we don't, like to say, if you don't try, you'll never know.
I would agree. Always asking for more is better. Do we need to make a resolution as a group about that and present that officially?
Kristen, this is Troy again. I was just looking and you can see here, these are at the end of fiscal year 20. We're showing that we had a ending cash balance of 36,000.
Wasn't that a bondy?
Well, yeah, the bounty's in here. So if we look, didn't receive any funds. I mean, basically we're receiving the bounty funds in 21 and
Right.
which we did. And then
Mhm.
we'll have that expenditure in 21. So that'll cancel out.
Mhm.
And we are showing the expenditure in our purchase services here.
Oh, yeah.
Got it.
And then I believe the traffic signal boxes are part of that purchase services. That's why that number's at 58,000. But I guess what I would propose, it's showing that we're projecting an $18,000 ending cash at the end of this fiscal year. So there is some
Wiggle room.
wiggle room there, yeah, to add some more dollars to your contracted services in 22,
Yeah.
if you guys want to do that.
Yes. That number, that 18,000 surprises me. Okay.
And I'll dig into it a little bit just to make sure what that 18 really, when we project in 21, that's saying that all our revenues are coming in, all our expenditures are going out the way we thought they were going to, and we're going to end up with that much money left over. So maybe there were some projects or some 1 year where we didn't spend as much as we thought we were going to.
2020 would have been the year to do that. Okay, yeah, I'd like to know where it surprises me that we would have that cash on hand for this fund at the end of this fiscal year. Because I was under the impression that we had maxed out our amount and perhaps gone into amounts we were holding back because the price for the traffic signal wraps went up.
So
Thank
I'll
you.
dig into those expenditures
Great.
and provide an expenditure report on that so that we can see exactly how we're going to land.
Okay. So and that doesn't preclude asking for more money, or that is just hand in hand with asking for money? I'm sorry,
It kind of goes hand in hand. So what we'll do is we'll look at our, and I apologize, but obviously since facilities got involved, we haven't done any expenditures. So I'm unaware of what happened prior to us taking
got it.
involvement in this. So if I can dig into that, usually what we look at is our cash, ending cash balance, and what our beginning cash would be for the next year. And then we would allocate expenditures appropriately to make sure we're not going negative in our cash. So like I said, if it truly is 18,000 cash left, we could add anything up to that number. And I'm not sure if we need to keep a reserve in there. It might be smart to have a little bit in there for maintenance. You know, even though we're budgeting 1,500 for maintenance, it may give us a little flexibility if we ran into a bigger problem and had to do a major repair, you know, on a piece of artwork somewhere. Right now we have budgeted 1,500. But in reality, Kristen, as you said, when you look at, you got a blank sheet in there. Let's see. Really, these are just some details. It's really 10.8. However, you guys want to spend $10,800.
Right.
It doesn't necessarily have to be, you know, perfect in line with each of those line items.
Well, we'd like to spend 15.8. So there we go.
Okay. So I will bring back a detailed expenditure report on that. And then we'll change if that all works out, we'll add the 5,000 to the
Okay.
contracted services. So we have an ask of 15,800.
Great.
Okay.
Perfect. Thank you.
You bet.
If I could add one thing, I just did pull up the budget to look at this year's expenses. And I do see a little over $10,000 that was for the traffic signal boxes.
Yes.
It's like $700, several separate payments of $700, and then a payment for just under $5,200 in November. I don't know if that's helpful, but that I think is where some of that money went.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's okay. Okay. We ended up doing 7 of those. So we paid them twice. So did we pay them twice? If it's a bunch of 700 dishes and a 5,200?
I believe the 700s were, if I recall right, Bridget, they were to the artists. Each individual artist, there was a piece. And then Fast Signs was probably the lump sum.
700 is
You're muted, Bridget. Sorry.
Yes, Fast Signs was $5,198, and then there was 7 payments of 700, which were the artists.
okay. So it was 14. Thank you. One of the things on the not going to jump around. Okay, so we've talked about the budget. We got our update on the ghost signs. Now that COVID times are turning around, we can certainly revisit with Patrick. And we can certainly revisit with we can decide to visit with the group with the Rodney Street project. One of the things they would like to do is bolster a building at the end of one of the gutter blocks and put in art in each of the windows, right?
Yeah,
Amanda?
I can speak to that a little bit. So
Right.
I had a meeting on Wednesday with one of the county commissioners, Andy. H is his last
1,000.
Thank you. Yeah, he seemed like a great guy, but him and a few of the county maintenance people, head of public works as well, and they were super for it. And so the plan is tentatively to get some art in those boarded up windows and on the front side, and then they even potentially told me I can do something in the garage door and on the white boards below. And so that's been a really fun development, and trying to figure out what that's going to look like, and then what kind of the reaction is. And then hopefully the plan would be to put art in all 25 of the windows on, you know, the east and north sides as well. And hopefully in some sort of like community engagement way where, you know, each board is given to a different artist or a different artist organization, and then potentially some sort of outdoor pop-up gallery to display them all before they're installed. But
And can you give the address or the cross street so everybody gets in their mind which building we're talking about?
Sure. It's the Allen Livery Building. It's owned by the county right now for storage and maintenance. I can look up the address, but it's next to the B&B Market, next to the Myrna Loy. And I believe it's been in their possession since 1920s. And the ghost art on there is so cool.
Right,
Is that
and
the
that,
one up on the hill?
Yeah, it's on Ewing Street, I believe. Helen, I'll get the address really quick.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
kind of kitty corner, north and east of the courthouse.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's
Right.
actually, some of us internally, it's referred as the county commissioner's garage.
Yeah, it is. It's as Mac described it, it was his man cave. But I'm actually getting a tour of it tomorrow at about 2 p.m. just to try and see some of that old wallpaper and stuff. So yeah, some exciting developments there, and I'll definitely keep everyone in the loop, in potential collaboration in the future, and seeing where it goes. There's some other projects in Rodney Street right now, potentially some asphalt art that's going to be going in around the crosswalks, potentially a pop-up park in the commercial space. The artists in residence, it's me, my friend Ashley Moon, who's the design researcher, and then Helena Johnson, who's the landscape designer. So we're trying just a bunch of little things and seeing what sticks, and trying to get the community involved as much as possible, and seeing what works and what doesn't, and especially as we move into kind of bigger public art projects over the next few years. I'm going to also be applying for some grants, potentially for some park benches and potentially some sort of artistic bus shelter. So there's a lot of moving parts going on right now.
right. And and the dovetail here is that building, the man cave building, has, as you mentioned, a beautiful ghost sign right on it. If Firestone is not interested in funding a portion of that, perhaps we can look at coordinating with the Rodney Street project and kind of piggybacking on one, either we're piggybacking on them or they're piggybacking on us, looking for some grants and some cash to help make the framework for the individual art pieces look better by restoring that ghost sign, which has been on the list as well.
Here, I'm pulling a picture of the building into the chat right now. I'm just pulling it from my phone. And so hopefully the first round of art for the front, we're gonna hopefully have something by May or June. Chris Holmes wanted something by Art Walk, and so I'm just like, gotta get my ducks in a row for that. But yeah, exciting. I'm not sure quite what it's gonna look like yet, and I'll definitely keep you guys updated as we kind of move through that and see where things take us. All right, here I'll pull that image.
That's really exciting, Amanda. Thank you for sharing. I'm excited to see all that stuff happen. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah, me as well.
We had the after school program from the Holter come and work with the city through HPAC to do the work that they did on the corner by Bert and Ernie's and Gold Bar. So,
Yeah, I remember that last summer.
yeah, so that was fun. That went up for a while. I think they had to make some changes, but I think it worked out. Signage is still up there.
Yeah.
Okay, so now that we know that Firestone isn't answering even our Dear Mayor Collins's requests, we can maybe start to do that, getting the extra money in, working with Patrick, working with the Rodney Street project. So that's moving forward, which I think is great. The next item, unless we have more on Go Signs, was to be preliminary discussion of outreach in the time of COVID. Last minute, I got information yesterday and today about Chalk Up Helena weekend / Symphony Under the Stars weekend. So I'll put that in here. The time of COVID is quickly coming to an end. So our outreach looks like Symphony Under the Stars weekend. Traditionally on Symphony Under the Stars weekend, we have had that Saturday morning, we've had Chalk Up Helena. And Chalk Up Helena, for those who aren't familiar with it, is a family-friendly chalk art competition, sidewalk chalk art competition that is held in the trolley block, essentially from Birds and Beasley's on down through towards the library. In the past, we have categories. People have paid $5 for an individual, $10 for a family. They're given a large or small square and all the chalk they could use, and they create something. And the theme has traditionally been the same theme as Symphony Under the Stars. So the last one we had, the Symphony Under the Stars, with Aretha Franklin, and that year the Chalk Up Helena theme was Respect from that song. We had decided for 2020 to not charge anymore for the event, just to make it we have a boatload of, we have all the ingredients for Chalk Up Helena except a pop-up, and we decided not to charge, hoping that would get more people, and then we canceled, and now we're looking at 2021. The big difference for 2021 is that Big Sky Pride and the Montana Pride, all the Montana LGBTQ Pride associations have moved Pride weekend in Montana from June to the weekend of Symphony Under the Stars. So the Pride parade, rally, and the initial cohort of extra activities, whether they're bar crawls or reading times or whatever is on that agenda, is going to be happening the Saturday of Symphony Under the Stars at the exact same time that we would be having Chalk Up Helena. This is absolutely new. I don't see them as conflicting, other than participants may need to decide whether they want to be participating in a Pride event or Chalk Up Helena. But Chalk Up Helena generally runs from 8 or 9 in the morning to about 2 in the afternoon. Some people take an hour to finish. Some kids come and they take 2 minutes. Some people work the entire time trying to finish their art. And also traditionally, the artwork has been judged and awards have been given, and the judging has been done by some Helena luminaries. I know Mayor Collins has judged at least once, and twice. Yay! And Chalk Up Helena is a great event. It's a family-friendly event. We do get families. We get people who are counting on it every year to come out and show us their chalk art. They're also counting on it to be that Saturday of Symphony Under the Stars. Wanted to discuss how we thought, if we thought that they would be just in terms of logistics and time for, because we do have we do have to work with the city facilities to make sure that the sprinklers aren't turned on, and they give us some cordoning off so we can make it clear that people aren't supposed to just be running up and down the trolley block. I just want to have a discussion about whether we thought there would be a conflict of resources or audience if we had them, if we kept Chalk Up Helena on the same day as Symphony Under the Stars, now that Pride is in there. So does anybody have either a comment about city resources for that? I mean, the minimal that Chalk Up Helena takes, or a comment on how they feel about whether we think that's going to be an audience conflict, or people will have to decide, have to make too many decisions about where they'd like to be.
Can I have a quick question?
Yes.
What did you say the Pride thing was again? I'm sorry.
It's the annual LGBTQIA Big Sky Pride parade. Pride normally happens in June to go along with the original Pride parade in New York, and that's what it is. It's a weekend of activities for the LGBTQ community and allies to participate in.
Right. So the parade that goes up in Helena
Yes.
goes, where does it stop?
I am not entirely sure. I haven't gotten that from Kev.
I think they usually start from around God's Love there and go all the way
Right.
to the
To
library.
Fuller. Yep. To the
So-
library. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. And I have been texting back and forth with Kev about when that would go through that trolley block and haven't gotten a time back.
I feel like that could be really good for Chalk Up Helena, and maybe, and then people can feedback on that, but
But that
could
kind
we-
of crowd, I think they would mess with the kids' art, because it's a huge crowd.
They're expecting
Absolutely.
10,000.
It's a
So
huge.
could we reach out to Montana Pride and see if we could get the judges to, from the people that are doing that event maybe, and sort of try to collaborate as well?
I'm sure we could collaborate. The questions are more, I'm sure we can collaborate. His not answering my text today, notwithstanding, Kev is a big collaborator. They've pushed it to Symphony Under the Stars weekend specifically to be collaborating with the symphony and the people who regularly come in for the Symphony Under the Stars. But if that parade, and I have been in Germany for every Pride for the past 4 years, so I haven't done it. But if the parade does normally go up the trolley block, then we would, and then do they have Mayor Collins a rally there at Anchor Park?
Right.
Okay, so we would need to relocate that the Chalk Up Helena. I can see that relocating it to someplace nearby would be an interesting experience.
Could we just find a time frame, because maybe we can start a little early with Chalk Up Helena, because I mean that spot is just so right.
Swamped. Right.
And so let's find out exactly when the parade will start, and then we can work around when do we start and when do we end.
We could
Well, I have a quick question, but if they do earlier, I I usually go later because it's less crowded. And so it's nice to view it the whole weekend. I still think the parade is going to totally destroy all the artwork.
Right, we'd have to have the artwork done after the parade.
But usually parades are at like 11, right?
Right.
That's leaving
11 to noon, yeah.
Yeah, but if they conjugate at the end, just like Governor's Cup, everybody hangs out like right in that area.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's going to be tricky.
I mean, it does make more opportunity for more people to enjoy the art, but it's a very funneled space for sure.
It is a funneled space. And if they're having the rally at Anchor Park, that kind of takes out the sidewalk all the way around the Alive at 5 park as well. We can also, yes?
I'm wondering, what about the tunnel up at the top of Anchor Park? I know that's kind of a throughway, but I'm not sure. I haven't been to Chalk Up Helena, so I'm not sure what the population is of participants, but that would be a little more protected maybe?
It would be protected, it would be a little small.
Mm.
Yeah, the squares are set out about 3 to 5 feet apart, if not more, because lots of people come in. The squares are 2 by 3 feet and 3 by 4 feet, right around that size.
But you know, Kathy is making a point. She said, why don't we look at another date?
We can look at another date, or we could either move it to Sunday, so it still gets the people who've come in for Pride and Symphony Under the Stars, lovingly known as SUTS. Or we can move it to another weekend day, another weekend.
Kristen, can I interject something?
Yeah, go ahead, Nick.
So, it seems like the last couple of years, interest had been waning in Chalk Up Helena.
True.
And I'm just sitting here thinking, it might be a pretty exciting thing if kids are doing their chalk art. Well, there's a nice big crowd down there.
Mhm.
So maybe we could, I don't know how we would pull this off, but if we could cordon off an area where the chalk artists are and funnel people around them and do it, down maybe somewhere closer to the federal building, or rethink where we actually locate it, because you're right, down by the trolley, it's too much of a funnel there too. It's a thought. I mean, it's a thought to make them coincide, because it would be a heck of a lot more fun, for sure.
I think it would be a hell of a fight. There is that little like patio between Lasso the Moon and what is a business, where the stairs come down from the upper parking lot. There is a fair amount of space in there. It would limit the number of people we could have if we had it just off the. Hi, Kev Ham.
Hi. It wasn't me. I was dead at the time.
We were just talking about you.
What did I break?
How appropriate. Nothing. We're trying to figure out how to have people drawing with chalk on a sidewalk at the same time as a parade of people who might like to see and participate in.
So what I was wondering is there any way that you could do it the weekend before? Because now that Folk Fest isn't happening, that weekend's empty.
Right. Doing it another day, either that Sunday, so that the 18th, or doing it another weekend, have both been in the mix. We'd like to have the energy of Pride help kind of reinvigorate Chalk Up Helena.
Okay. So what I would say is we have tentatively scheduled, and I haven't gotten the permits yet, so this isn't set in stone. The parade to be the same time that we've done it before, which is line up at 10, starts at 11, ends at the park at 12. We have our rally until about 1.
Mm-hmm.
So if you were to do Chalk Up Helena at like 2 in the afternoon, that's when all of the little other events are going on. So I'm sure people would join in and have fun. The other option is, do you want us to move the parade later in the day and you guys do Chalk Up Helena first thing in the morning?
If we do it in the morning, everything will just get walked over.
Right, and that's what I'm worried about. I don't know if it'll get seen before it'll get destroyed. So
right. If we did Chalk Up at Helena at 2 with a smaller time frame.
Doesn't even have to be that much of a smaller time frame, because the next major event that happens is Symphony Under the Stars at 7:30.
At 7:30, but people start getting there at
noon.
Yeah, but still most people reserve their seat, so beforehand, right?
Right. So people who haven't paid the Boy Scouts get there at noon. People who have paid the Boy Scouts, it kind of depends on how you're going to run it.
Well, that's Symphony, and I believe they're doing it the same way they've always done it with it. You get to put out your blanket by holding it with food. The food gets collected, blah, blah, blah.
Right, but that
happens on Friday in the early afternoon, like 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, something like that.
Right. So the
So
people.
really,
who
it's just parking that prevents people that they would leave early to go find parking.
Well, and that's the thing. If they're downtown, they're already walking distance. I'm 400 pounds lazy and I'd like a nap, and I can walk to Carroll from here.
Right.
So really, if you can't walk to Carroll from downtown, we need to have a talk with you and maybe some Weight Watchers.
Then also, what about the Great Northern Town Center too, which is on the way, kind of. Wait,
No, it is.
yeah,
It
it's
is.
on the way. Like for people walking.
Great Northern Town Center used to be the ditch by Carroll College. Just so you know.
Right, the ditch by Carroll College. Great Northern Town Center would be interesting because we would get if we wanted to have it, we would do that if we wanted to have Chocolate Helena at its traditional time, which is 9 to 2. That I feel is a little separate from the Pride events if we're trying to coordinate it with Pride.
Okay, I think we're beating this dead horse. Let's
We
decide
are.
what we're gonna do.
Awesome. So our options are move the day of Chalk Up Helena or move the time of Chalk Up Helena.
Kev, is there any activity going on Sunday?
The only activities that happen on Sunday are basically the recovery brunch, and that's not necessarily downtown. All of the bars will have some sort of recovery brunch bar where basically it's you need a little alcohol to suffer through the alcohol you had the night before. But it's nothing like we're doing a big group. We don't have any closures of the streets or any of that. So you could definitely do it then. It's just, Pride's really over as the bars close on Saturday night. Sunday is basically a recovery and go home day.
Got it. Okay.
I'm in favor of a smaller time frame and coincide with Pride myself. That's my vote.
What's
So,
that?
Can I ask a question?
yes.
So, who are the people that generally do this? Is it kids? Is it artists? Is it both?
Kids,
Okay.
It's a lot of kids and families,
right?
but the people who want to come and go for it are there for a while and they've planned it out. And we have families who have been planning it out, and then they
Okay.
come with their plans.
Well, here's the other thing to know, because we do, we started this the second year we did Pride here, and so we're continuing it because now we've got a sponsor for it. The Holter is doing the Make Your Own Pride t-shirts for kids. So they're going to have a bunch of art supplies and some of their art students there leading that in the afternoon as well. So I'm a little bit leery that might be the family thing that
Right.
draws from you, unfortunately. And so it might be better to do it on Sunday just because all those people will have gotten out of their system all of the crazy stuff they wanted to write on a t-shirt. So you'd have, human things happen.
Got it.
I don't know. I look at Pride and
I think we should still do it. That weekend is pretty jam packed.
Yeah. What if we consider what Kev said of doing it the weekend before? There's something to having those colors the whole week to really kind of complement, both events.
So the
It is
week-
a symphony weekend, unfortunately, but it
It
just
is
might.
Symphony Under the Stars weekend, which doesn't mean that we can't continue to piggyback on the theme and make that part of it.
Right. Well, and the other thing is that if you do it the weekend before, we can talk it up so people can see it when they come to town, because we have events starting on Monday. Hey, when you're coming to town, be sure to check out this. Chalk It Up did this thing. Da 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 da. It's at the corner of whatever and whatever. We can put that in to promote it so that people see it. And we don't have a problem with putting that in as one of the events that kicks off Pride Week in our promotions as well.
There we go.
If you're looking for something to do with your kids, we have Pride stuff happening, but this weekend we have Chalk It Up at Helena, blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
And the trick to making chalk stay longer without making it permanent is hairspray.
Mhm.
So, drag queens learn that. Face.
Yes. Let it cook. Face. With that information in mind, can I see a raise of hands about who would want to put it the weekend before the 10th and 11th, the weekend of the 10th and 11th? 4, 5-ish. Okay.
4.5.
4.5, 5-ish. Okay. So thank you very much, Kevin.
You're welcome. I'll jump out. Have a good rest of your meeting.
Thank you. So since our show of hands said weekend before, do we need someone who's better at the actual laws of a group, tell me? Do we have to have an actual vote on it?
I don't think so.
Okay, good. So then the only question is, do we want to do it Saturday or Sunday? Traditionally, it's been a Saturday activity.
Let's keep it that way. Oh,
Got it.
that's my opinion. My
That's my
opinion.
opinion as well.
I
Okay,
agree.
so we're moving it up a week, and instead of coordinating exactly the day of Symphony of the Stars, we're opening up that whole week with a family-friendly event. Okay, fantastic. We are going to need a subcommittee of people who are willing to do a little bit of legwork. Jenny and Mitch and I did it last time, 2019. It doesn't take a lot of work, but there are some things that need to be coordinated. Think about raising your hand for that. I won't make it happen this time. Was this March? Yeah. So why don't you pop me a line if you'd like to be on that mini committee, or if you know you want to be on the mini committee now.
What does it entail?
We have to make sure that we have. I need to check out. Okay, we have to make sure. Come on, I'm talking to a dog at the exact same time. We have to make sure that we have this, that the city's facilities know that we're going to be there, that we have that space cordoned off, and that the night before, come here, out. And that the night before they don't run the sprinklers, because wet pavement is difficult to art on. We
And
have,
need Troy on that committee for sure.
pardon me?
We need Troy on that committee for sure.
Oh, look at Troy's there.
I
And
thought
then,
everybody that didn't make it to the meeting volunteers automatically.
look at that. I don't think we're going to rely on Lou. And then the other thing, we have all the chalk. We need to organize. We need to do some organization of infrastructure stuff. A pop-up, a cooler with ice and water, a small first aid kit, a minimal amount of infrastructure. So when we invite people there, and then the other half of it is PR. And, we're going to be piggybacking with Kevin Pride, but making sure that all of our standard PR outlets know that Chalk Up Helena is special this year and moved and opens the week. So it's basically outreach, helping organize people to work the day, and working on logistics for it. Oh, please.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be happy to help with graphics. I'll probably be a little pretty spread thin about that time of year, but I think I'd be happy to help the committee with any sort of social graphics.
Okay.
Easy.
What are the dates again? Can you remind me?
It'll be, so Symphony Under the Stars is
The week after.
July 17th. So we're looking at July 10th. And we're going to need people to kind of be there and help. You don't need a lot of people to run it, but we will need, and I'll look at some emeritus HPACers. Okay, well,
I can do some
Hey, I
infrastructure.
had my hand up for a while now. You didn't pick me, so hey.
no, I was reading some notes, but Wilman, thank you so much for volunteering to do our PR.
Oh, I didn't say that, but
Oh, you didn't?
I can do some of that infrastructure stuff with the cooler and the tent and things. I can
Got it.
probably handle that if I have a list to check off.
Okay, yeah, we do have the list. Do you have a special place you'd like to put your volunteer efforts for this, Mayor Collins?
a special place?
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean?
So you had your hand up.
Oh, no. I'm open to whatever.
Okay, I got it.
And I really think having Big Sky Pride to promote this is going to be huge and be able to reach a way bigger market too.
Right.
So I think that opens up a lot of opportunity, which is really cool.
Perfect. Okay, and then we'll be getting some signups. It is a kick in the pants to come down, even for a little bit that day. and take a look at what the people are doing. Some of it is amazing. Some of it is like someone's brought their 1-year-old out and put a little, chalk in their hand, and it's absolutely amazing. It just takes a little time. And that is that. I'll send out some specifics to those people who gratefully raised their hand, which is just about everybody.
I'm sorry. I have a quick question. Are we gonna, did we decide if we're doing prizes this year?
We didn't decide if we're doing prizes this year.
But I thought it was automatic. You don't want to not let a kid win without a prize.
Everybody wins is kind of the prize.
That's not good enough for those
That's
kids.
not good enough. Yes, we will be doing prizes this year. And perhaps we can have some people, we can pull from the Pride and the Symphony some luminaries to come and help that, since it's before their activities come. How about I'll take care of the PR and personal outreach part of that. Awesome. We're coming up on time. HPAC brochure, there's a couple things that are on the agenda because we haven't had quorum. HPAC brochure, we have casually decided that it's up to date for now, and now that we have a quorum, unless someone has a word to say about that, we consider the HPAC brochure current. The Rodney comment.
Can I give you a quick update? So yeah. I haven't met a lot of you guys, but I've been a graphic designer illustrator for an engineering firm here for a good many years, and just recently called that quits. And I'm going to be out there next week. I'll see if I can get my photo library from them and my InDesign files, because I would be happy to turn over the graphic design support of this committee to Amanda. And so I'll see what I can do about that. I'm not done on that yet. I'll try it, because I had a pretty good photo library also, which I'd like to get from them.
Wonderful.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. And again, Rodney traffic signal box, it's been on for a while. We're just waiting to hear what's going to happen with that corner and how we need to move that, how and if we need to move that artwork.
Yeah, I think Charlie said I think they're starting construction in June. So I'm not sure. I think they might be starting on the Broadway side. So.
All right. Hello. Thank you. Sorry about that. The new funding ideas. Briefly, and I'd like to move this to our next one since this was a big conversation. Briefly, different cities fund their public art committees different ways. Bozeman, Missoula fund them by having a portion of new city buildings. They have a portion of that budget set aside, not only for art for that new building, but also to fund their HPAC. It's not an additional funding for those cities, it's how they fund them. So it was, unless we want to have a tax on new public building, it didn't seem to me like a financially interesting thing to go down at this point. But I'd like to put that on to the next agenda to talk a little bit more about it. We're just running out of time here at 4:26. We do have room for public comment. Thank you, Kathy, for all you've said so far.
I had a couple public comments, if I could.
Sure.
One, okay. I was thinking that we did the parking meters a while back, and we have one that is specifically for public art. There's one that also generates funds for Prickly Pear Land Trust, and one for the Symphony, and I think one for the Holter, one for Grand Street. So they're around town. I'm not sure if people are still aware that they are there and they can put their money in there to support these different organizations. Public Art has one over by the bus shelter, over by the women's mural. And so I was thinking, maybe it might be nice just to do a little reminder PSA. If you're looking for a place to put your spare change, please consider this, and that they're there for that. Because I don't know if the money's still being gathered out of those, so to come into your budget.
Mhm.
So for yours, the other ones fund the other organizations. Okay, so that was one thing. And then the Spring Art Walk is coming up on May 8th. And so I didn't know if you were planning to be part of that. That is a good time to promote Chalk Up at that time. And the deadline for that is April 24th. So I just looked that up on DHI's website. So, and the other comment that I had was you need to also check with DHI, Downtown Helena, Inc., to make sure that they don't have something scheduled downtown the same day that you're talking about for
Okay,
Chalk Up. Okay, because if that's going to be a conflict, you might want to look at the Saturday after the symphony and Pride.
I got it. I will do that.
Kathy, this is Troy.
Right.
When you talk about, so it's a parking meter, I'm assuming a decorated parking meter,
Right,
and
right.
and you said it's by a bus shelter. Is that, where was that location?
By the women's mural on Broadway.
Okay.
It's right there. So
How
I
many of those meters are out in the world?
I think 6 or so.
Be interesting to let everybody know that all of them are there.
Right, right. That's what I meant, not just public arts, that
Yeah.
all of them are there.
And do you know, Kathy, who was collecting the funds out of
The
those?
Parking Commission.
Okay, I'll follow up with them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Troy. All right. If that is the end of our public comment. Thank you, Amanda, for checking in on that date.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll let you in.
Perfect. Thank you. Unless there's anything else, I will thank you all for all being here, establishing a quorum and having a very productive meeting. Fingers crossed that Downtown Helena is not having something that would conflict, but maybe would be augmented by Chalk Up Helena. We can go back and forth with that as well. Awesome. I thank you very much. Our next meeting is third Thursday of April, which is the 15th. I hope to see you all there. Thank you all very much.
Yeah, thanks everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.